just going to use this microphone. No, it's not the best, but I don't think it was just working the microphone. All right, welcome guys. Today's Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. I'm just going to pull up the chat here and be happy to answer any questions you guys have about eBay dropshipping, virtual assistants, all that kind of stuff. Pull up the chat. Let's see who's here today. How's everyone doing today? Of course, my phone's not working. Okay, pull it up right here, actually. My phone's not working. Cool. All right, now I have the chat here. Focus 10K is here, says made it to the first live. We already have some great questions rolling in. I'll answer them in just a minute, waiting for more people to get in here. Lots of great questions. So let me ask you guys something. If I go like, okay. Just gonna make this, there's not much reflection on my glasses. There we go. Yeah, Rodrigo, sorry about yesterday. I set the date, I thought I set the date right for the live event, but I guess it got messed up or I picked the wrong date. I'm sorry about that. It was always supposed to be tonight. I always have it every Tuesday night. So that was a mistake on my part. I probably put the wrong date when I created the event on YouTube. We have Neil here from Philly. Welcome, Neil. Eddie says there's no video, only sound. I think everyone else can see me though. Michael's asking about title optimization. I've talked about it before. I'll make a video about it. It's a video that I have planned to do. Rick's here, says this is his favorite channel. Thanks, Rick. Thanks for coming by. George is here. Okay, everyone can hear me. I know the audio is not the best right now. I had some technical difficulties, but it should be fine. It should be good enough, right, guys? Okay, so we did have some questions. I want to start getting to them. We had a question from Michael about Home Depot. So Home Depot's cashback, so I think it was maybe a week and a half ago now, 2 weeks ago maybe even. We all woke up one morning and found out that Home Depot was taking away all of our cash back that we had received. Not really sure why. There's a lot of rumors flying about as to why it was happening. Some people said it's because we were using gift cards, and that's technically against their terms of service. But what I found out is that it's a glitch in their system. Home Depot acknowledged that it's a glitch. They are working to resolve it, but they're pretty unorganized over there. From what I hear from Giving Assistant, they don't really have, I guess you could say, their act together, or maybe it's not even a priority for them. So it does seem like they're working on it. It's just going to take a while. And they did say that they're going to credit back the accounts that qualify. I'm not really sure what that means. So we're going to have to wait to see. But at least Home Depot is admitting that it was an error and that they will be crediting at least some of the cash back to some of us. But we'll just have to wait and see exactly how that turns out. Okay. So Monica's asking about DS Genie and Shopify. Both have been down. Yes, Monica, from what I hear, DS Genie has been hacked. So they shut it down so that the hackers couldn't get in and do any damage. The creators of DS Genie recommended, just as a precaution, that you change your eBay your eBay password and your PayPal password just as a precaution. But they are working on fixing everything and preventing the hack from happening again and from any damage there. Kyle N is here. Welcome, Kyle. So Sherry says he's still looking for software, dropshipping software that can handle multi-variation listings. The only one that one of the ones that I know of is SKUGrid and HydroLister. It's not my favorite for a number of reasons, but it will get the job done. It's a little bit more expensive than a lot of the other ones and kind of clunky, which is the reason I don't like it, but that will get the job done. Jonathan says it's been slow for the past 4 days. Is this normal? I'll talk about this in a minute. It's kind of what I want to talk about mostly in this video, the slow sales that a lot of people have been experiencing. Okay. JCB California says, are you collecting sales tax from states where the nexus threshold is triggered? Yes, absolutely. Any state that I'm registered to collect sales tax in, I do collect sales tax in. So the only state I have a nexus with is New York. So that's the state I'm collecting sales tax for. Okay. Coming on. Best Quality is asking for a video about piercing the corporate veil. I can make a video about that. So Kyle's asking about getting tax exempt on Home Depot. And there is a video about that in my course. It's not something that I've made a video publicly about. Pedro says, hi, Paul, congrats on the super simple VA course. It's really good. Thank you, Pedro. I've gotten a lot of great feedback about it. A lot of people are really enjoying the course. It's my course all about how to hire and train virtual assistants to help you run your eBay dropshipping store. And I should have a link to that. It's the third link underneath my video if you guys want to check it out. I do want to let you know that the price of that is going up at midnight tonight. If you're watching this on the replay, it's too late. So the price is going up at midnight tonight. And this is, I'm letting you guys know, this is the cheapest it's ever going to be. It's never going to be this cheap ever in any promotion or anything like that. This is the cheapest it'll ever be. Just so you guys know. So Alice says that her Repricer missed a price increase yesterday. Sometimes the Repricers, there's a couple of reasons this might have happened, Alice. One, it could have missed it, which might happen if the API information on the website didn't update, even though the price updated. So that wouldn't be the Repricer's fault. There's nothing you can do about that. Another thing that might have happened is that the price, the item sold, and then the price went up before you could buy it. And that happens sometimes. Or the DSM tool and a lot of the others check every hour. So let's say it checks every hour on the hour. And then the price changes at like 1:30. And DSM didn't update. And then someone buys it. And then by the time you get around to doing it, the price is up. So, you know, that's just the nature of the beast. There's nothing we can really do about that. Alice says, worth every penny. I think talking about the VA course, Super Simple VAs. All Things Geek is here. And Focus 10K said, got my access early to the VA course. So welcome to all those people who have joined the VA course. Glenn, of course, is here. Welcome, Glenn. So I think a lot of people have been asking questions and talking about, a lot of people have noticed a slowdown in eBay sales. So what's going on with that? So I started receiving messages from people around Saturday and seeing people posting on groups and Friday night, Saturday, especially on Sunday, saying my sales have slowed down a lot. And I've noticed that my own sales have slowed down a bit. So what is going on here? I've looked into a couple of different reasons this might be happening to so many people. And I really can't get a definitive answer as to what's going on. So I've seen people saying, well, it's because on the 20th of every month, eBay reevaluates everyone's accounts, gives some people above standard ratings, some people below standard. So that, you know, they might have reevaluated your account. But my account hasn't really changed, and a lot of people I've spoken to, their accounts haven't changed either. They're still in good standing, above average. So the only way that could have affected us is if they suddenly took a lot of people from below standard into above standard, therefore ranking them higher and increasing competition. But I don't think that's very likely the reason why, in my opinion. A lot of people say that this is just a slow time of year, which is certainly possible, a reason, but it just seems like it was a very sudden dip in sales for a lot of people starting this weekend. So I don't know if that exactly adds up as well. My best theory is that eBay is going through a lot of changes right now. They're recataloging their system. And even though we've reached out to eBay and they deny that they've changed their search algorithms or their Cassini algorithms, I think that in the process of them recataloging everything, somehow they haven't gotten everything straightened out, and that might be affecting things and throwing things out of whack, so to speak. And ideally, hopefully, things will kind of level off after a couple of days, or at the least after a couple of weeks. We'll just have to keep looking. Personally, I'm not changing my strategy right now. It's only been a couple of days. I'm going to give it at least a couple of weeks, or at least a week, to see what's going on with the sales, talking to other people and seeing what's going on with their sales, and seeing if things stay consistently low or if they go back up to where they were. So I'll have an update on that for you guys next week. I think the best thing to do is to watch and to not react so much, and to try to make a big change in the way that you list or the way that you run your store. Because if things, as they hopefully will and should, go back to the way they were, you don't want to have to readjust again just because you kind of panicked and changed things when you thought sales were low. If that makes sense. Okay. All right. So let's see what other questions we have here. Okay. Since I added my LLC card, Amazon asked if I wanted to upgrade. Oh, I'm not sure what that question is. Okay. Steve in Dallas says it's the Russians that are affecting the sales. Who knows what's going on? A lot of people are agreeing that sales are a little slow right now. Spring slowdown, good weather, says Steve. That's certainly a possibility. I know I've been outside a lot more. We'll start maybe in a couple of weeks or even a couple of days seeing people start to buy summer products again, seasonal summer products. So that might bring sales up. I know just historically, when I looked at if you look at my income reports, you go to my website and look at my income reports, April was my worst month of drop shipping ever. April 2017, I saw a huge dip in sales. At the time, I thought it was because I was a new seller and a lot of my items that were popular were suddenly out of stock. But I don't really know. Maybe it's the same thing going on again this year. Trevor also says not only did eBay sales drop, but also his Amazon sales. So if it's not just one platform, but more than one, maybe it's just the time of year. I don't see a reason people would actually be buying stuff around this time of year. Maybelline is asking what strategy I'm testing out right now. I'm not testing anything new right now. I'm just continuing what I'm doing. I'm happy with the way things are, assuming things sort of pick back up soon. I am testing a little bit with promoted listings and seeing how that goes, but with this dip in sales kind of time, I don't think it's going to be a really good test. I'm going to wait till things pick back up and then start testing that a little more. But besides that, I'm not making any big changes right now, primarily because I've been focusing on making the course for you guys, which is now out. And so then moving forward, I'll be trying some new stuff, which I'll be talking about in the videos. So George says, what do you tell your customers when the item is out of stock? So George, what I do is if an item is out of stock and I can't order it for the customer, what I do is I tell the customer, that the item was damaged in the warehouse, or I found out that it was damaged. I didn't want to send them a damaged product. Do they want to cancel the order, or do they want to wait for the item to come back in the stock because it was the last item available? And usually they'll ask for the money back. Sometimes they'll ask to wait, which is kind of a pain. But you'll just email them every few days saying, still haven't gotten it in stock, still haven't gotten it in stock, and hopefully it does come back in stock, and you can just send it out to them. Jonathan, yes, as I mentioned before, my sales have gone down this past few days, a dip in sales. Oh shoot, I just lost where it was. Ellen New, I forget how you say your name. I know you told me your name once, but I forget. Ellen New, but I know you asked a question before, but I lost it. It's kind of lost up there. So if you want to re-ask your question, I'll look at it. So Jonathan, the Amazon Prime credit card, you can only get it under your personal name. You can't get it under a business name, unfortunately. It's only a personal credit card, not a business credit card. Dale, I do have a couple videos. Dale's asking if I can make a video about paying taxes. Are you talking about sales tax or income tax? There's a big difference there. So Mike says, how do selling limits change when you have a sale? So Mike, every eBay seller has a selling limit. It's the most amount of items they can sell within a month. They can sell or list. It's a little bit tricky the way they set it up. So let's say your limit is about 50 items. So once you start to get more sales, you can call eBay and say, hey, look, I've made sales. I'm a consistent seller. Can you now increase my limit? And a lot of times they will increase it, maybe up to like 100. Then you can list more items and hopefully get more sales. AM asked if I would ever try FBA. Absolutely. That is on my long list of things to do, like further out in the future, things that I want to try doing is Amazon FBA. Okay. Robert says that people spent all their income tax money and now they have nothing left. Eric, thank you. Eric says, should I upgrade my account to business on Amazon? Are you just buying from Amazon or are you selling on Amazon? There's really no need to upgrade to a business account. It doesn't really make a difference that I know of. Aha's asking if I can make a video about getting tax exempt through Amazon. That's a great thing to do, is become tax exempt on as many websites as you can, and Amazon is one of the ones that you can become tax exempt on. In fact, I'll say that if you are sourcing from Amazon, you really need to be tax exempt. There's just no way you can compete unless you are. That's one of the videos that's only available inside my course, the Dropshipping Titans course. So it's not one that I've made a video publicly about yet. But I do have 3 or 4 videos about becoming tax exempt inside my course. If you are a member of it, you can check that out. It's in module 15. Okay. So Dale's asking about income tax, and I'm not an accountant or CPA, so I don't really feel comfortable talking too much about income tax. Obviously, you got to have good bookkeeping records, and then I always give them to a CPA because taxes are just one of the things I can never figure out. I have a couple friends that do taxes on their own, for their own self, but they have one employer. They're not married. It's very easy for them, but I wouldn't even know where to start. So it's not something I know anything about or feel comfortable talking about. But there is a woman that I know who talks a lot with people who are doing e-commerce about income tax and bookkeeping. And I can't remember the name off the top of my head. She appeared on the Rake and Profit show, Steve Rakin's show. And I'm totally blanking on her name or the name of her group. but I will maybe I'll try to get her on the channel because I saw her interview on the Rake and Profit show. She had a lot of knowledge, and I think you guys can learn a lot from her as well. I just remember the name of her group. It's called Accounting We Will Go. And I know it's a Facebook group. I don't know if she has another website, but if you search for Accounting We Will Go, that's the woman I'm talking about. She seemed very smart. So Mike says, should you pay your VA per hour or per listing? That's really up to you, Mike. I talk a lot about how to pay your virtual assistants inside my new course, Super Simple VAs. But really, if you have someone who's listing, the choice is yours. I know a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to pay them 20 cents per listing. I don't like to do it that way for a number of reasons. I want a VA to not really worry about quantity as much as quality. So I have her do product research herself, and I want to make sure it's good research. I tell her, look, take the time to do the research. Even if you spend an hour some days and you don't get any items to list, that's okay. That happens to me sometimes. Well, maybe not an hour, but you spend like 20 minutes and you're not finding anything, that's okay. That happens sometimes. But there are going to be some days you're going to be able to list a ton of items in 20 minutes because you're just going to find a whole bunch of items that are selling really well that you're going to list in the store. So that's what I instruct her to do. If I pay her per listing, there's a temptation for her to just list some crappy items that are just not going to sell very well. So I like to pay her by the hour instead of per listing. But it's really up to you, whatever you think's best. Maybe for you, you think that's more motivation to pay per listing. But for me, I think the more fair thing to do is to pay by the hour. AM says, I'm really enjoying your course. Thank you, AM. Eric says, buying. Okay. Shoot. So I just saw a good question. There it is. Jonathan said, okay, I have a customer who purchased an item and wrote a note saying to please not send the invoice or price because it's a gift. I'm sourcing from Home Depot. Is there a way to make sure that's not sent? So there will be an invoice inside the package, but 98% of the time it won't have the price on it. So you don't have to worry about the price being there. It shouldn't be there, but there will be an invoice. They will know it came from Home Depot. So All Things Geek says, does DS Genie do all the things that Zeek and DSM Tool do rolled into one? So DS Genie does a bunch of different things. It does have a research tool built into it, so you can do kind of the research that Zeek Analytics has. It is also a lister. It doesn't really pull automatically the item information over from Amazon, for instance, into the listing, but it does kind of make it a little bit easier than doing it manually. Dale says, what is tax exempt? So good question. So tax exempt, we're talking about sales tax. So you go onto a website like Amazon, every time you make a purchase, you have to pay sales tax. Not every time, but often you have to pay sales tax. So there's an exemption, times you don't have to pay sales tax. For instance, if you're in like a school, or if you're a religious organization, or if you are a reseller. We are resellers. So only the end consumer has to pay sales tax. So you are not the end consumer when you buy something on Amazon and ship it directly to your customer. You are like a middleman. So you can apply to become tax exempt on Amazon. Then Amazon won't charge you sales tax, but you are now responsible for collecting sales tax from your customer when it is required for you to do so. So for myself, I'm only required to collect it for New York right now, and I would collect it for New York and send it each quarter directly to New York State. And there are services like TaxJar, which will collect the sales tax and remit it to the appropriate states for you automatically. I've never messed around with that, but I probably will in the future, depending on how the tax laws change, as they might change this year. Dale says, how can I get your course? Dale, if you check the links underneath the video, the first link is a free eBay dropshipping webinar that I gave earlier this year. It's a replay of it. It's a really great webinar. A lot of people have been watching that. So that's a free thing. You just have to sign up for it. And the second link is the actual paid course if you want to check that out. And the third one is the virtual assistant course. You can click on that one and check out the course right there. Okay. Jonathan says, Amazon business account, some items are cheaper. I don't want to talk too much about this because I don't know a lot about it. For some reason, I didn't do it, and I'm trying to remember why. I thought it was because Prime for business accounts costs more money, but like I said, I don't remember, so this is just off the top of my head. So if anyone knows something more about it, please let us know, and I can look into that later as well. Okay. AM says your Titans course helps with that. Helps with which part, AM? Sorry, I'm not sure what your question refers to. Yeah, Chewbacca kind of reiterated what I said. The Home Depot only sends packing slip, no prices on it. Anna Hill, thank you, Flying Thrift. The CPA that I spoke of, her name is Anna Hill, and she has a group called Accounting We Will Go. Check her out. You search her on YouTube when you guys get a chance later. She's very smart. She talks a lot about accounting for eBay sellers. You can join her Facebook group and ask a lot of questions. I was in there for a while asking questions because accounting is not my strong suit by any means, but I learned enough to get by in my business. That's kind of one of the cool things about running your own business is you got to wear like so many different hats. Like on the one hand, you are doing product research, then you are doing accounting, and you are managing people. It's like all these different bits and pieces you got to move around. It's really cool as an entrepreneur doing all these things and learning all these new skills as you go along. So it's been one of my favorite parts about running an eBay store and learning everything that goes into that. So Jonathan clarified for us. So thank you, Jonathan. He says, Prime for business does cost more money. It is $500 a year. But if you have a personal account, you can transfer Prime membership from your personal account into your business account, so it works out. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So Rich is asking if you can become tax exempt, sales tax exempt, before becoming incorporated. Yes, absolutely. I did that, and then when I became incorporated, my LLC became tax exempt. So I no longer apply my personal tax exempt number. I use my LLC because my LLC is the one doing the business, not myself. Best Quality says, if you become tax exempt for Amazon, since Amazon has nexus in almost every state, you are required to collect sales tax in any state that you are shipping to with that exemption. That's not true. So you are only required to collect sales tax in any state that you have a nexus with. You have the nexus with, not Amazon. So I have a nexus with New York, so I only collect sales tax for items that are shipped to other customers in New York. I don't collect sales tax for any other state. Okay. So Focus says, what is the safest payment method on Amazon, Home Depot, and Walmart to limit the chances of getting canceled orders? Amazon, I haven't had any problem with canceled orders. You can use any payment method you want. For Home Depot's a little weird. Some people have problems placing orders on their website with credit cards. Myself, I have had trouble placing orders with credit cards. For whatever reason, I think it's because Home Depot's, actually I know what the reason is, because Home Depot is afraid of fraud. They see too many purchases. They don't have anything wrong with you placing the purchases. They just want to make sure it's not fraud. I just found the best thing to do is to pay with PayPal, in which case the sales go through, or to pay with a gift card. And that's what my VAs do. They pay with a gift card. And then with Walmart, the same thing as with Home Depot. I just pay with PayPal or with a gift card. Walmart actually has a ton of different options. You can pay with like a Visa account or a MasterCard account. I've never tried that. I would try one of those as well. I'm sure it's the same thing as PayPal, where it lets the purchase go through just fine. So Best Quality says, look at all the largest drop shippers. There's a reason they all collect sales tax in every state. The first thing is we don't know much about those people. We don't know. Maybe they do have locations in every state. But another reason they collect sales tax in every state is because they keep it, and that's illegal. They're not allowed to do that. A lot of them collect sales tax for every state, and instead of sending it off, they keep it and pocket it, which you're not allowed to do, but a lot of drop shippers do it anyway, figuring they'll never get caught. But if you do get caught, it's a huge, not only will you have to repay the money, but oftentimes the fine is equal to the amount that you collected. So if you collected $5,000 in sales tax that you never sent to the state, you would have to pay that $5,000 and then pay a $5,000 penalty on top of it for some states. So I wouldn't do that if you, I just wouldn't do it. And I would be careful with collecting sales tax unless you know what you're doing. Kyle says, would you say Giving Assistant is best to use? Giving Assistant historically has been really great for cash back. And if you're wondering what Giving Assistant is, it's a cashback website. So you go on to Giving Assistant, and then you click through Giving Assistant to Walmart, and you might get like 3% back on your order, which is pretty nice. They've been historically very good. They've had great customer service. But with the whole Home Depot thing, not really sure what's going on. I don't really blame them. It kind of seems like it's on Home Depot's fault, and they are trying to communicate with us, are trying to fix the problem for us. Right now, I'm not using them because it's not, my cash back for Home Depot is not posting there. I'm using Simply Best Coupon for now. Probably will go back to Giving Assistant once the whole Home Depot thing is sorted out. But if you do want to check out Giving Assistant, there is an affiliate link in the description of my video. I think I get like $5 if you guys sign up. I'm sorry, you get $5 if you sign up and actually use it with that link. So someone's asking about AliExpress. I personally don't use AliExpress for drop shipping just because of the long lead time that's required. I do know some people that do it and they say they have great success with it. I can't talk about that because I've never actually tried it. I've just stayed away from it because of the long shipping times. But if you are drop shipping from AliExpress, I would put a really long shipping time or handling time in there. Okay. So Moralzo, I talked about the Home Depot cashback earlier in the live stream, so make sure to check that out. So Al's asking about how I pay my virtual assistants. So I've been paying them. I have some virtual assistants through Upwork, and that's just paid automatically through Upwork. I do have other ones that I got through Online Jobs, which is the website that I prefer to use right now because it's really cheap to hire virtual assistants through there. But you're responsible for paying them directly. So I've been paying them with PayPal, and that's been working fine. But recently, this week, PayPal made a change so that any money you send to someone in the Philippines, it's going to cost you $5 just to send them money. And it kind of just like annoyed me that they did that. It's such like a huge jump. It went from a couple of cents to $5. So I've been looking around for someone else to use or another website. I'll probably end up just using PayPal and paying my VAs every 2 weeks. or something like that, but because I haven't really found another good one. I'm checking out a couple of others like Payoneer and Remedy. I'm also going to try the online jobs direct payment, easy pay system that they have. Yeah, so Jonathan, I kind of just answered that, or I didn't really answer. I said I'm working on it because right now PayPal's charging that $5. I'm going to try out online jobs, see if that works. So Cap27, what is your take on using personal Amazon Prime account for dropshipping? I do it all the time. I know a ton of people that do it, and there's no problem with it. You get free shipping. And if you have the card, you get 5% back on all your purchases. Yeah, so Tori says, is a little confused about sales tax, says that Maine, you always get charged sales tax. Yeah, so Maine has doesn't accept what's called blanket resale certificates. So when you become tax exempt in certain states for certain suppliers, you have to provide what's called a blanket resale certificate. So like I provided one for New York. So I made one for New York that I gave to Amazon. So any purchase I make on Amazon that ships to New York, it's covered by that blanket certificate. States like Maine don't have a blanket certificate, meaning that every time you make a purchase that you want to be tax exempt for, you have to send in a certificate for that purchase. It's a one-time use certificate. It's obviously not sustainable. It's not like scalable for us to do that. And I don't even think Amazon allows us to. I don't even know of a way to actually send them this tax exempt form for every single purchase you make. So I don't worry about those states. If you want to charge shipping to those states, you can. That's one way to handle that. Otherwise, I just ignore it and move on from there. Rodrigo says, hit that like button, guys. 89 people here, actually 98 now, and only 11 likes. Thanks, Rodrigo, for the reminder. Yeah, guys, if I answer your question, if you're getting some value out of this, make sure to hit the like button. And thank you, Rodrigo, for reminding me again. I'm not here for the likes, but they actually do help my channel grow and reach more people. So I appreciate the reminder to do that. While we're talking about that, guys, I'm totally blown away. We've hit 5,000 subscribers on Sunday. It kind of just snuck in there. I'm in the middle of this, or at the end of this launch of my course, Super Simple VAs, all about how to hire and train virtual assistants for your eBay dropshipping store. I've been super focused on that, getting the course out, telling people about it, that I almost didn't even notice that my YouTube channel hit 5,000 subscribers. I checked, it'd been just under a month since we hit 4,000 together. So wow, like I'm just totally blown away. Like 5,000, I never dreamed of hitting a number like this. I feel like a real YouTuber now that I'm here in front of 5,000 people every week. But more importantly, it's the 97 people, 98 people who are here right now talking to you guys. This is the best part of making this channel, is talking to you guys, being able to interact with you and make videos for you and answer your questions. So just thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, for all the support, for all the likes, thumbs up, and subscribes. I really appreciate it. Okay. RS is asking about VPNs and if I use them to log into DSM tool. I don't, because I'm in the United States. I don't need to use a VPN to log into DSM tool. A VPN is a virtual private network. It's specifically designed to kind of like hide your IP address. But a lot of people use it if they're overseas, if they want to make it look like they're inside the United States. So you can give it to your virtual assistant. The virtual assistant can then use it to make it look like they're inside the United States, because some websites you can't access or buy from unless you're inside the United States. So that's one way to do that. Oops, lost my place. Okay, Morales is saying, how do I stay in touch with my virtual assistants? Okay, so I have a couple of ways. I should be a little bit more organized with it, but it really is organized in a way. So I send them tasks with a program called Asana. I really like Asana. I use it for my own to-do list. Maybe I'll make a video on that. I did have a request about that, but check out ASANA. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but it's a great software. It's free for a web program for assigning tasks to people on your team and creating tasks for yourself. That's one way to do it. And I also Skype with, or Skype message, Skype chat with most of my team. And there's a couple of, those are just the ones I Skype chat with are the ones who do the customer service. The ones who place orders, I don't really talk to them almost ever. They're just running in the background, do it, and they get paid every week. And I almost never talk to them anymore, which is pretty, actually, I think that's pretty cool. That's the way I want it to be. So Claire and Seda says, what is the best website to buy stuff from and sell it on eBay? If you're doing eBay dropshipping, a great place to start is on Amazon. It's just because it's very easy to shop from Amazon and ship to eBay customers. You get the free shipping, so you can sell cheap items with Prime. It's a great place to start, in my opinion. Andy, I don't use discounted gift cards. It's a great option. I think a lot of people, especially in the beginning, should check it out. For me, I'm just like, I hate when things are unorganized. It's like one of the things that just drive me nuts. So just having like all these gift cards, because you're gonna have to buy like a $25 gift card, a 10, a 5, a 20, a 30. You have like so many gift cards, you gotta keep track of all of them. Like that's the kind of thing that I can't deal with. I like everything kind of neat and tidy as best as I can. So that's why part of the reason it didn't really work for me. And it's just more work to manage them. I wanted to, automate my system more, and that just takes away some of the automation out of it. But in the beginning, I think it's a good idea. It helps you increase your profit, and you can always, switch back to using credit cards later. RS says they use Western Union to pay their virtual assistants, no bank fees. Yeah, Al's asking about how to pay your virtual assistants. That's the one lesson that's missing from my course right now because I made it and then PayPal made this change. So I wanted to make sure that it's the most recent information for you guys. So I took out the video. So once I figure out what I think is the best way to do it, or a couple of different options, I'll make a new video about that, put it into the course. There's a placeholder for it right now, Al. I'm sure you've seen it. I'll talk a couple of different ways that I found to pay virtual assistants in that video once I find the best way. So Orbital is asking, saying, I bought your VA course earlier today. Is it necessary to buy your other course? Bill. Hey, Bill. Thanks for buying the course. The VA course is really geared for hiring and training virtual assistants to help you run an eBay store that you already have and to use them in a way that helps you scale up and build your eBay store. The other course is really about how to build your store. It shows you how to start, run, and scale an eBay store. So the VA course is really more geared towards taking what I taught you in the first course and how to teach it to virtual assistants to help you get to the point of getting more sales and growing your store. So it really depends on where you are, Bill. If you feel like you're already successful in eBay dropshipping and you don't need to make any more money doing it, you're just trying to automate the process and maybe use virtual assistants to scale it up some more, then the VA course is all you need. But if you're still not sure about the best way to dropship, looking for extra strategies and tips to really grow your store, then I would suggest getting the main course. Yeah. Okay. Moralzo says, snail mail a check to your VA. Jeremy says, did you ever use PayPal? I think Jeremy means to pay my virtual assistants. Yeah, I used to do that until they started charging me $5 every time I send them money. So Clarence Seda says, people say that Amazon does not allow dropshipping, but if I use Amazon to dropship, is that going to be legal or not? So let me break this down. There's a couple of different things going on here. First of all, Amazon, in their terms of service, do say that you're not allowed to use them to dropship to somewhere else, like on eBay. It says that, but they don't enforce it. And I know so many people who do it, and they haven't gotten banned or in trouble in any way. So everyone does it anyway, even though they're technically not supposed to. As for the legality of it, it's definitely not illegal. This is an Amazon internal rule. So because you use their website, you have to abide by their terms of service, is called, but it doesn't make it illegal. The only thing Amazon could do is ban you from using Amazon.com. They can't arrest you or sue you for it. It's not illegal, if that makes sense. Okay, great question, Kang. Kang says, if you start a second eBay account, you're not allowed to list the same items in the second account that you have in the first account, and vice versa. How do you manage that? Well, the best way to manage that is to give whoever's listing access to both accounts or to both whatever listing software you're using, if you're using DSM tool. That way they can check if the item is being listed in the second one, or sorry, in the first one before you list it in the second one. Another great option is you use one account just for Amazon or to dropship from Amazon, another account just to dropship from Walmart, and that way you know that they're separate. You know they're not going to be the same items. You know, some items, there are going to be some items on Home Depot that also exist in Walmart, definitely. But even if you are using, even if you have one store, it could still happen that you list that same item, because when you go to list it, DSM tool is not going to know that they're the same item because they come from two different sources anyway. So there's really no way to avoid that part of it. But the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to have one store be one source and another store be another source. L Chef says, today is the deadline for the intro price? Yes. So midnight tonight, Eastern time. So we have little over 3 hours before the price of super simple VAs goes up forever. Like I said before, this is the absolute cheapest it will ever be. I'll never have it this cheap or discount it, anything like that. This is the cheapest it'll ever be. So that's the third link in the description of this video if you guys want to get on that deal now before the price goes up. And I didn't really tell you guys what's included in that. So in addition to the training videos, which shows you what to do before you hire a virtual assistant in order to prepare for one, how to hire the virtual assistant, the different websites you can go to, the best way to post jobs and to interview virtual assistants. And then the third phase is actually training them and communicating them and working with them to effectively run your store. In addition to that, you guys are going to get 6 bonuses for signing up. I don't even know if I can remember them all. So the first bonus is a checklist. And I actually made this for myself originally because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any steps. You can just print it out if you want and check off as you go along everything that you do to make sure that you don't miss a step. Another bonus that you're going to get is you get done for you job postings. So instead of having to create job postings for yourself, you just copy and paste the ones that I give you. It's going to save you a lot of time. Sample interview questions. Again, you can just copy and paste. You don't have to think of what to ask your virtual assistant. I give sample interview questions, and I give different job postings and different interview questions based on the job you want to hire for. So one for listers, one for customer service, for instance, and one for order fulfillment. The other bonus I have, I can't even remember them all right now, but the big bonus, the one that I'm most excited about, is that I give you guys a special website that's that you need a password to get into. So you have the course, it's on one website, and the other website you need a password for, which you'll get when you sign into the course. And that website actually has videos that you guys can send to your virtual assistants that train them. So if you don't want to make the training videos yourself, you just send your virtual assistant to this website, give them the password, and they can log in, watch the video, and they're trained. You don't have to do it for them, which is really cool. You just have to go in and tell them the passwords they need to log into the software and all that stuff. So that's all you guys are getting. Similar courses I checked out are valued at over $1,000 for this stuff, but right now it is on sale for $127, and that's it, one-time payments, and you're in the course for the lifetime of the course. So that's everything you're getting. But let's get to more questions, because that's why you guys are really here. Do I delete the address every time I do an order? Not sure what you mean by that. So Kang says, did your second account get the same selling limit, or you have to get from, so Kang, when you start a second account, you can call eBay and tell them, hey guys, I started a second account. I'm using it for a new product line. And they're gonna increase the limit of your new account, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to start over. But one thing you are not allowed to do is to open a second account just to get around your listing limit. So if you have a listing limit of 50, don't expect to go open a second account and get another listing limit of 50. They really will only do this for you, increase the listing limit, if you already have a high limit. Just something to keep in mind. Thomas, thanks, man. I think you're awesome too. Okay, Julie's here, saw a question. Okay, missed that one. El Chef says, just bought it, so excited. Thanks for the amazing courses you were putting together. My pleasure. I have a lot of fun making them for you guys. So Pedro says, I'm having a mess in DSM tool because I have SKU grid too. I'm not really quite sure which item is being monitored where. So I highly suggest you move it all over into one. Just pick one. I like DSM tool, but if you like SKU grid, then move them all over to SKU grid. It's pretty easy to move from SKU grid over to DSM tool. I have made a video about it, so check through my videos and look at it, and it's very easy to do. I made that video for one of my students who asked for it. I think it was Al. Okay, Eric says, do you clear all of your Amazon addresses after a lot of orders? Yeah, so what Eric's talking about is, as you're placing orders on Amazon, you have to add a new address every time, and that's saved in your address book. Your address book can get very, very long. Here's something cool. If you're using DSM tool, you can get their Google Chrome, what's it called, extension. And one of the options that the extension can do is actually clear out all the addresses in your address book. It's really nice. So I run that, every couple of days. Kind of just makes it clean up a little better. Guy says, can VAs operate a fresh, brand new second account? They could. I don't like doing that. I like to get things started myself and then show the VAs what's happening and have them take over for what I'm doing. Eddie, I'm deleting them. I'm deleting the Amazon addresses as I go along. Okay, Dustin says, I just hired my first VA. Should I have them keep track of their own hours and just send me an email at the end of the week when it comes time to pay them? That's pretty much the way I do it. I have them actually keep a timesheet, and then I go into the timesheet and check the hours. But I don't know why I never thought to ask them to do this, to have them actually email me their hours at the end of the week, kind of saving me a step in the process. King, I do use the global shipping program, yes. Okay, guys, we're running out of time here. This hour went really fast. So we have about 5 more minutes. I can answer a couple of more questions for you guys. Isaac says, I thought you only drop ship from Home Depot. No, it's not true. I drop ship from Home Depot, Amazon, and Walmart. Home Depot is definitely where most of my items are from, but I do list from the others as well. Captain says, at what point would you suggest incorporating? I would suggest incorporating when you're consistently making, a couple $1,000s a month over the course of a few months. You really feel like it's sustainable and something you're going to keep up. That's what I would do. The nice thing is you can incorporate, and when you incorporate, you're allowed to incorporate for what's called, you have to give what's it called, like a business purpose, like what your business is going to do. And every time you incorporate. So you incorporate your business, and it's going to ask you, what does your business do? And you have to write down what it does. But what you're allowed to do is write down, it exists for any legal purpose. So it's very broad. It covers anything that you do. So you can create a corporation, and then you can do eBay dropshipping with it. Underneath the corporation, you can do Amazon dropshipping, Amazon FBA, Shopify. It can all be under that same umbrella corporation, if that makes sense. Okay. Cosmic Coin says, good software. Is there a good software to keep track of ordering, tracking, and delivered? Well, you really only, if you plug the tracking number into eBay, it's going to track it and let you know if it's delivered. Softwares like DSM will tell you, you can mark that the item was ordered. That's really, I think, the best. I don't really know exactly what you're looking for there, why you're looking for it. Chewbacca says hi to Chad. Hey, Chad. Some people are saying hi to you. Chad says hey. Okay. In my case, I have items from other suppliers that are not DSM. Okay, so Pedro is saying he's using both DSM tool and SKU because he's using some sources that DSM doesn't support. If that's the case, honestly, even though I really like DSM tool, I'm not a huge fan of SKU. I would suggest you move everything to SKU. I can't imagine handling both 2 relisters from going into one eBay account. I kind of did that when I was transitioning. I don't like it. I think it's just making things messy. I would put everything into one, personally. Let's Rock says, do you recommend hiring a VA to list when I have not yet made $500 monthly of profit, but I have high limits? Yeah, it's at that point, it's really up to you and how aggressive you want to be and how risk averse you are. If you're willing to put in a risk into it, because the risk is that you have them work for you and it doesn't pay off. So do the math, see how much it's going to cost you, and see, am I willing to reinvest maybe $300 a month back into my business at the risk of not making that money back? But there's a good chance if you train them right and you find the right lister, they're going to help your store grow. And that's really, the upside of the risk. They're going to help your store grow and make more profit. So in that way, it would be worth it. One of my students, Bill, did that. He said, I started listing a hired VA right away to start helping me list. And he attributes that to why he made over $1,000 a month in profit his very first month on eBay, doing dropshipping, that is. SeaMonkey's DSM tool is looking to add more sources to their platform, besides just a few that they have now. Cool. So we're at 9 o'clock exactly. This hour kind of flew by for me, guys. This was really nice to have this. This has been a great week. Blown away by how many people have signed up for the course and all the support. A lot of people saying they really love the course. One woman said that she hired a virtual assistant. 2 days later, she's already seen an increase in sales, which I love to hear things like that. If you guys have a story like that, please share it with me. I would love to hear how my courses or how my information is helping you guys, or any questions you have. More importantly, if you guys have any questions about eBay dropshipping, virtual assistants, leave them in the comments of any of my videos, and I'll answer them during a live Q&A, or before then, maybe even. And guys, if you are interested in the virtual assistant course and you're watching this live, I do want to let you know that the price is going up at midnight. So that's midnight Eastern time. So that's under 3 hours now, and it will never be cheaper than it is right now. Anyone watching this later, I'm sorry. It's too late at that point. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone who's come out and for watching the live stream, asking questions, everyone who has subscribed to now over 5,000 people who have subscribed to the channel. Everyone who has given the video a thumbs up, thank you so much. I feel really full of gratitude right now, and for all the support everyone's been giving me and to help me help you guys. So thanks again for coming. I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a wonderful, wonderful week.